Am I
You can go
muted?
ahead, Janelle. Yeah, we're recording.
Hi, Damien. How are you?
Good, Janelle. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Uh,
So I have a lot of questions, but I know I'm on a time. Um, First of all, I'm so excited that the movie's coming back in theaters. How do you feel about this? Because this movie kind of became a cult classic like overnight, but it became more than a cult classic.
oh, wow. Thank you. It's so exciting. It really is because that theatrical window, that experience that we had last year was one of the best experiences of our life, meeting my cast and crew. We couldn't believe what was happening. Every morning we woke up, there was something new going on, a new buzz or a new morning talk show was talking about us, Howard Stern, Stephen King tweeting. So that was so wonderful. And it was such the theatrical experience itself was I think what made this movie so popular. It was that communal experience. It was people sort of almost daring each other to go see this movie and asking, can you stomach it? Is it really as crazy as they say it is? Are you going to faint? Are you going to pass out, puke? So that was cool. And I think some people missed that opportunity and found out later. So it's cool to have an opportunity to see it again. For people who haven't seen it, and then for people who just had a good time and want to kind of relive that experience. But also now we're including the teaser to Terrifier 3 at the end of that film. So it's going to be an extra special experience. So it's going to be worth going to check out for sure.
So far, I've figured out and I've learned that it's going to be a Christmas movie, Terrifier 3. Is there anything at all you can say about Terrifier 3?
Um,
When
uh,
we can expect it?
It is. Yeah, it is. The cat's out of the bag. It is going to be centered around Christmas as opposed to Halloween this time, which is really exciting. I can't wait to put Art the Clown in this environment. It's going to be so wild. And I just love Christmas-based horror films, especially the retro ones. So I'm excited to take my crack at it and put my spin on it. All I could say is that we're going to ruin Christmas for a lot of people.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's Black Christmas, Gremlins. I mean,
Yes.
come
Yeah,
on.
Black Christmas. Black Christmas is a big inspiration, and without going into spoiler territory, there will certainly be homages to Black Christmas in this. I've already paid tribute to that movie many
Mhm.
times in the Terrifier
Mhm.
movies. Whenever you see Art the Clown put a bag over somebody's face, I mean that's taken from Black Christmas
Black
because it's one of my
Christmas.
favorites. Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited.
How do you how do you feel like do you have a favorite moment so far from actually seeing it in the theaters? Because I know a bunch of us were gonna get dressed up in, you know, some kind of either art or somebody from one of the Terrifier films, and we're gonna go see it. So do you have a favorite moment like so far from experiencing the films in theaters?
I went and saw it a few times. I would just kind of hang out, hide in the back, like the last row, and just film certain moments where I knew get the most reactions. And I would say every time the best reactions probably come from of course, the bedroom scene, and just the
Mhm.
mix of screams, laughter. I mean, the moans, the groans. There's just so many different emotions going on during that scene. It's pretty wild. And the other one that really gets the guys a nice a nice reaction is the tip scene, if you know what I'm
Mhm.
referring to.
Mhm.
So hearing all the men in the audience all of a sudden just scream at the top of their lungs was a cool reaction. So it's probably a toss up between those, but there's a lot of cool, audible reactions that happen while watching that movie.
How do you feel about, how does it feel to you kind of experiencing all this and kind of taking all this in, and then you're going in now to make part 3?
Yeah, a lot more pressure, I would say, believe it or not, because now we have the most eyes on it ever, and it's the most popular it's ever been, and people are just always trying to see if it's a bit of a fluke or if we really have what it takes. Is art really a horror icon, or is he just sort of a flavor of the week character that's gonna peter out? So we're always trying so hard to make sure that isn't the case and to just pour as much love and passion into these movies and make sure we're always swinging for the fences and giving horror fans really, really what they want, or at least to the best of our abilities, what we think they might want. So we're certainly doing that again with part three. I feel really confident in it, as much as I did when I wrote part two. So hopefully that translates once again. But always excited to go back into that world and just get very mischievous with Art the Clown, and sadistic is always very fun.
Do you feel like with the kills, because the kills in Terrifier 2, I think were absolutely amazing in the special effects. And the last time I spoke with you, you explained all the details of, doing all these amazing special effects. Do you have ideas for part three? And do you feel like you kind of have to outdo yourself, or do you feel like it's just a natural process where you're just kind of like, okay, this is what has to happen?
Sort of all of the above. I mean, it's part three is written, ready to go. So those new big kills are cemented in the movie. I know what they are. I know what hopefully the scene that rivals the now alley bedroom scene is going to be, and audiences will certainly know what it is once they're in the middle of it. They'll have that, oh, here we are moment. This is crazy. So I'm excited for that. And it also, as you could tell, every time I talk about these movies, I have such a love for horror films, just films in general, but especially old school horror movies. And I love paying homage to them, or just taking scenes that I love and putting my own little twist on them. So this new big kill scene is actually a combination of two sort of classic kill scenes that I'm marrying together and then putting my own sort of spin on it. So I can't say what they are because it'll give it away right away. But I'm excited for people to see this one in particular. But we'll say that's always the challenge. And yes, we're going bigger, bloodier, crazier. I'm always going to try and one up what I've done previously.
How do you feel seeing David just keep playing Art the Clown and just being amazing? And like, I've met so many people who now cosplay as Art the Clown. And I was doing the haunt at Waldorf, the Estate of Fear where Hell House was filmed, and a friend of mine does Art the Clown. I've met a few Art the Clowns that talk, and I'm like, Art doesn't talk. We
Can't
don't do that.
speak. No, no.
But there are some people that play him like that cosplay so good. Like,
Oh
how do
yeah.
you feel seeing David like when he's in, his Art the Clown mode?
I never get tired of it. It makes me feel like a little kid. Either I feel like a little kid, or I feel like I'm looking at my child like have the time of his life, or going off to college or something like that. I don't know. But I put David in the makeup all the time, even when we're not shooting, because we do so many horror conventions. I'm at a convention right now. I'm in Niagara Falls, and I have to put him in the makeup tomorrow. And once David's in the makeup, once he leaves the makeup room or the hotel room, wherever we're doing it, and he puts on the Art the Clown, act, the shtick, and he does not break character until we leave. Like, he never breaks the illusion in front of fans. And it's just second nature. Even when we're shooting the movie now, there's very little direction unless there's something very specific that I wrote, or a specific face, or if I want David to play it very cold and mean or something. But I mean, Dave has just embodied Art the Clown, and it's so fun, and it's such a pleasure to watch. Yeah, we love it. We have such a good time.
Well, I have to thank you very much because all these films are now on like all of our Halloween list. And my friend he's been watching, he kind of just started watching horror movies, and he goes, "Do you have any recommendations?" And like Terrifier just came out of my mouth, and I thought that's not really, probably not the best film to tell somebody who just kind of started watching, but he started with All Hallows Eve,
Oh,
and then he kind of worked his way through, and he's like, "Oh my God, the Terrifier movies are like now my favorite." And
oh
but he
wow.
started watching a bunch of movies, so it's really an amazing experience, especially as a horror fan.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, well, thank you. That's like throwing him right into the deep end and saying, see if you can swim. That might be the best way to do it, though. That's how you get the best reactions.
Do you have any advice or words of wisdom for writers, directors, actors, people that want to get into this industry that may be hesitant to do so?
I don't know if they're words of wisdom, and I just could really only tell people the formula that's worked for me. And honestly, I don't know if I really ever had a choice. Like once I was about 12 years old, I decided I wanted to do this for the rest of my life and nothing was going to stop me. And I can't really explain that no matter what, no matter how discouraged you get or how much older you get and the pressures of life are just mounting and you're like, oh, I'm not making money, I need to get a career. Like none of that was ever deterring me from that goal, from that path, because I knew making movies was going to be the only thing to bring me like genuine happiness. So if you have that feeling, you really have to follow that. Like that's a great start if you have that feeling. If you're very hesitant and apprehensive and you're constantly questioning, is this for me? It's probably not for you. I just can't explain it. You know, when you have that feeling inside you, and then just be very persistent and keep honing your skills. There's really no excuse because you can make a movie on your phone. Everything is so accessible. You can make movies a lot cheaper. So just keep learning. I was all self-taught. You just keep watching videos, studying films. That's really what that was my film school, was just studying movies. And then I also say play to your strengths. So if you're going to make a film, what's your I wouldn't write a short story that just centers on two people speaking at a table over a cup of coffee because I can't write like Kevin Smith or Quentin Tarantino. That's not my strong suit. If I could, that might be a great scene that could get people's attention. So I'm good at special makeup effects. So I pack them out, my shorts out with shocking imagery or hopefully cool creatures and things that are going to get your attention that way, because you really want to stand out because there's a lot of competition. But I think just be persistent and follow your gut and follow your dreams. And if you really believe this is for you, you'll make it happen.
Well, I thank you so, so much, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and it's always an honor, and I can't wait for Terrifier 3, and we're gonna go see it in the theaters, and we're gonna go to the November 1st showing again too,
Oh,
so thank you so much.
oh, thank you. You're always a pleasure. Thank you. It was good seeing you again.
Thank you, Damien, and take care, and have fun at the convention. Have
Thank you
lots of
so much.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.